Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, everybody? It is officially the 12th. It's a Monday. It's May. It's post Mom's Day. Post Mom's Day. And let me get this rocking and rolling here. Ooh, looks like I'm actually wearing the same. Just realized I'm wearing the same color shirt that I was wearing on Friday. Not to confuse anybody, but hey, try to wear a different color shirt every day. So let me get everything rocking and rolling here. Okay, join us live now. Let's grow. Boom, boom, boom. All right, there we go. Everyone tag done. Comment the word tag once you guys see the Facebook notification that we're live there. Gonna drop the old doozy in here for the push notification. Get that sent out. Here we go. Push going out now. Rock and roll. That is done. Live notification sent out. Outstanding. All right, there we go. So everybody jumping on board. What's up? Sim, Bill, how are you? Mary, what's happening? Ricky, how are you? Good to see you. Shannon, good to see you. How you doing? Miles, what's up? So, man, it is Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Hopefully you guys were able to celebrate Mom. Shout out to all the moms out there. Way to go. We appreciate you very, very much. So shout out to all the moms on this looks like it's starting to rain again, post Mom's Day here. Okay, so let me see here. Let's get people. Of course, as I go live, I always have people doing stuff. Okay, so I was thinking of a really, really fantastic topic this morning, and I want to get your opinion, and I want to talk about this here because this is kind of an important thing. And this topic that we're going to talk about today really kind of holds people up, and we're going to explain some of this. Okay, so and I mentioned this in kind of the thumbnail, the description of today's video. Selling versus recruiting. All right, because let's just call it what it is. If you want to make money online, if you want to build any sort of successful home-based business where you're making money, period, end of story, something has to be sold. Something has to be sold, okay? So if that makes sense, comment makes sense. And a lot of times when people want to make money online, they don't understand that in order for you to make money, a transaction has to happen. And a lot of people think that they could sign up for stuff for free and then they just start sharing a bunch of stuff. And then all of a sudden, magically, they're just making a lot of money. But that's not really the case. The case is, in order for you to make money, a transaction, a sale, has to happen. End of story. For you to make money online, a sale has to happen. Somebody has to buy something, whether it's a subscription-based something, whether it's a course, whether it's, you're selling coffee mugs, whether it's a physical item. A sale has to happen in order for you to get a commission. Simple, right? And, you guys are commenting, makes sense, right? I mean, that's simple. That's simple. So the question is for you, is there a difference? And you guys put yes or no in the comments right now. Is there a difference between selling versus recruiting? Okay. And as you guys comment, so comment yes or no. Is there a difference between selling versus recruiting? Okay. And when you think about recruiting, for those of us that have, maybe been around for a little while, those of us in maybe our 30s and 40s and even 50s, the term recruiting might have a whole different meaning. So I'm going to explain all this. I'm going to break all this down for you, okay? So is there a difference between selling and recruiting? And I think this is a great topic. This is a great subject for a lot of people to think about, because a lot of times we get stuck in our own head. And one of the questions that I get all the time is, what am I selling? A lot of people, when people watch your video, I'm sure you guys have gotten this question before. Okay, a lot of you guys agree that there is a difference between the two. But comment the word selling. If someone said to you, well, what am I selling? What am I selling here? Comment that down below if someone said that to you, because I know I get that quite a bit off of my YouTube videos, off of my short form videos, whatever. People are always like, well, what are you selling? What am I selling here? What are we selling? And I think once the term selling, right? Comment selling if you guys have heard that before. You guys have had someone comment that to you before. Once you get the term, the feeling, the thought process of selling, people don't like to be in sales. People don't want to be in sales. People don't want to have to sell to other people. Okay? So here's the good news. We're not selling. We don't sell. This isn't, when you think about selling and sales, and especially when it comes to home-based business, the term selling, and this again kind of goes back to some of that old school thought process, right? The old school thought process of, people being in network marketing sales, multi-level sales, doing home parties, house parties, hey, you're trying to sell this protein shake. You're trying to sell this supplement. You're trying to sell, cable. You're trying to sell phone plans. You're trying to sell whatever it is, right? Even though we're in the sales industry, we specifically here with us, we are not selling, okay? So there is a difference between selling and recruiting. Now, if we were, as an example, if all we did is get paid a commission from selling the income shifting membership, as an example, and we did not get paid off the compensation plan, we did not get paid for our team, we only got paid by selling a product, selling a service, and we sold everything at retail, right? If you could only sell the travel membership and that was it, and there was no other, you couldn't build a team, you couldn't take advantage of the compensation plan, then, you would have to sell the travel membership, okay? But the good news is we don't have to do that, okay? So the difference here is recruiting, okay? But, and there's a big old but here. There's a big old booty in the way, right? The but is the difference between old school recruiting versus what we get to do now, or maybe understanding what it is to recruit, understanding what that looks like, what that feels like, what it is that you actually do. You just simply, ready for this? You just simply get to share the information. You just simply get to invite people to watch a presentation, go through your sales funnel, click on a link, whatever it is. So there's a big difference between the stereotype, especially, again, those that have been around for a while. Because, I think Sim said it in there, recruiting has a negative connotation when it's like, people think about like, oh, I got to recruit people. You do, let's just call it what it is. You do if you want to make money, if you want to get a sale, if you want to earn that commission. But it can also be a lot more simple. And you could simply learn how to share the information. You share the opportunity. You share, right, what you have. You get to invite people. And when you think about those terms, because that's realistically what it is, you are inviting people, and this is why we put out content, right? You invite people to learn more, right? So if that makes sense, comment invite. Comment the word invite. We get to invite people to learn more information. That's what we get to do. So is that selling? Not really. I mean, someone could be, well, you're still selling. Whatever. We get to invite people to learn more. That's what we do. And the good news is you can do that and you can get really good at it. You can get good at inviting. You can practice the skill set of inviting, okay? So when you think about selling versus recruiting, what are we selling? You're simply inviting. You're sharing your link. You're sharing the information. What people do with it from there is up to them. Now, here's the good news. The more people that you share this with, the more people that you invite to watch, to learn, okay? So I really want you to get that phrase, that one line in your head. If you have a pen and some paper, write it down, type it down below, invite people to learn more. Or just comment, invite to learn more. That's all you're doing. You're inviting to learn more. That's it. Not selling, not recruiting. You're just inviting people to learn more. That's as simple as this business is, okay? So I was thinking about that this morning, and I was thinking about like how simple it could be with the right mindset, with the right attitude, with the right outlook. And, you know, you think about where you want to go, how much you want to make, you know, whether it's 1,000 people, $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $100 a day, $100 a month, whatever it is, that number that you're looking to go after. You just have to invite people to learn more. And that is the skill set to making money online. That one little skill set. So there's your tangible, there's your takeaway from today. There's one of them, there's more. But that is your takeaway of what it is that you're actually doing. I'm just inviting people to learn more. That's it. Now, does that sound simple, guys? Does that sound simple? And that's what I want to give you here today is simplicity. So if that sounds simple to you, comment the word simple. Let me know that you're picking up what I'm putting down here. Okay? You're just simply inviting people to learn more. And when you think about it that way versus, what am I selling? What am I selling? You know, this is where the info overwhelm kicks in, where people start thinking about, well, then I got to memorize the comp plan. I got to memorize all the products and services. We got travel. We got income shifting. We got this. Think about someone who's actually selling physical products. Man, I got this protein shake. I got this, I got this other thing over. I got these multivitamins over here. I got this powder over here. I got this lipstick over here. I got this doodad. I got to memorize all the ORIC scores and the values and how many, what vitamin C is it? And you don't ever have to do that. You don't ever have to do that because you're not selling. You're not selling. You're simply inviting people to learn more. Okay. Now, here's where it gets really cool. Let's go down the rabbit hole and let's break this down even further. Okay. Let's break it down more. When you're inviting people, inviting is a skill set. Okay, so comment that below. Let me make sure we're coming in loud and clear. Inviting is a skill set. And you can learn this skill set. You can get really good at this skill set. Okay, so comment below, inviting is a skill set. Now, inside of that skill set, now we understand that inviting is a skill set. Now we open the door to the skills that you're learning here. Your skill sets that you need to learn, ready for this? You guys are commenting, good, inviting is a skill set. Inside, and part of that skill set is simply just a formula. The formula to your skill set is inside of our team training site. Does that make sense? It's simple stuff here, guys. So comment makes sense, right? Comment makes sense, right? So your skill set, the one you need to learn to invite people to learn more so you could generate leads and sales, right? The skill set to practice, learn, watch, learn, do. You guys hear me say this all the time on the live webinars, right? Watch, learn, do. You learn the skill set, you watch the video, you learn the skill set, and then you turn around and you go do it. That skill set, okay, is your marketing formula. And guess what, guys? Once you learn the skill set, once you learn the formula, okay, now you learn how to generate a lead and a sale. okay? And it usually starts with hook, build up, present value, call to action. That's the formula. So comment if you understand that. If you understand what the skill set is, comment formula. The skill set equals formula. You can even comment that if you want. Skill set equals formula. So guess what? Now that you understand the difference between recruiting and selling, what am I selling? You're not selling, you're inviting, okay? You're inviting, right, is inviting people to learn more. Inviting people to learn more is a formula. The formula is 4 points: hook, build up, present value, call to action. That is the formula for the skill set that you need to learn in order to literally sell anything or invite people to buy stuff. That's the formula. That is the formula for success. So then guess what? You practice the formula. That is what you should be doing each and every single day, is practicing the formula. And now, like, let's go even further down. We're just drilling down the rabbit hole here. So you guys have a full kind of concept and understanding of what is this thing that I'm doing? What exactly is it? We are helping you, surface level, we are helping you create passive residual income. Passive residual income. That's it. End of story. Passive residual income. To get you to the point where every single month you're making tens, hundreds, thousands of dollars without doing a whole lot of work. That's the goal. That's why we're all here. And that's what's possible. And it's very possible because there's a lot of us doing it that have that. So you have the evidence, you have the proof that it is possible. Okay? So you're practicing the skill set every single day of inviting people using the formula, right, in your content, right? Hook, build up, present value, call to action, right? Now, what happens when, ready for this? What happens when you invited someone using the formula and that person says yes? That person says yes, they pull out their credit card, you earn a commission. Does it stop there? Yes or no? Does the process stop there? Ultimately, if you're trying to create residual passive income, okay, does the process stop? You invited someone to learn more. They learned more. They said yes. Does the process stop? Does the process stop? Correct. No, the process does not stop. It continues on many different levels. Let me explain. Now, number one, the process continues for you. You also go back to inviting people to learn more. You go back to your skill set. You continue to practice it. You continue to get good at it until you get another yes. And then guess what? The process rinses and repeats over and over again. It can stop anytime you want, but the reality is you should probably continue it if you want to make more money. There's also a second part to that. The second part is, now that you have learned this skill set, you understand the skill set, you practice the skill set to the point where you can now generate leads and sales. The process doesn't just stop there. Your job, if you really, truly want to win in this industry, in this business that you are in right now, if you truly want to win and win big, your job, your responsibility. So comment that down below. I want you to feel this for a second. Your responsibility is to make sure that your brand newest person gets plugged in and learns, applies exactly what you are learning and applying and doing. You have a responsibility to help plug that person in. Now, yes, before you're like, well, wait, don't we have an automated system for that? Like, yes, we do. We have all the automated stuff for you. The team training site, the app, the process of taking people through the information so they can apply the information. But if you do not reach out to your brand newest person, if you do not ensure that they get plugged in to our TFT training site, that they get plugged in to our Facebook group, that they get plugged in to the information and start going through and processing and applying the information, if you do not ensure that that happens, you are leaving money on the table and you are doing yourself and them a disservice. Do you understand that? Comment understand if you guys understand that. Your process, your skill sets, your practicing doesn't stop after they say yes. You don't just keep rinsing and repeating the process and getting sales. Like, that's great. You're making money. Cool. But you're really doing a disservice to the brand newest person that comes in that doesn't get plugged in, doesn't get into this community, doesn't get to these lives, doesn't start doing what you just did. Because that right there, that one phase, that one step, that one process can either help you make a whole lot of money, right? Or you could lose that person really quickly because they didn't get support. They didn't feel supported, okay? So I want to make sure you guys understand this is all, like, everything we're talking about here today is all part of the process, and it's important to understand the process. It's also important to understand how simple the process is, right? So everything that we're talking about, okay, again, go back to the surface, the difference between recruiting and selling, okay? We're recruiting, but we're doing it in a way where we're simply inviting. We're inviting people to learn more. That's it. And once you start going down that rabbit hole, everything that we're talking about, selling, recruiting, inviting, skill sets, 4-point formulas, practicing it each and every single day, all boils down to a simple decision. A simple decision. Do you want to do it or not? Do you want to do it or not? And that one simple decision, because you know what you have to do. You know, if you want to make money online, a transaction needs to happen. In order to cause that transaction, you have to go perform the skill set, right? And you just have to decide yes or no. Do you want to do that? Do you want to invite people to learn more? That's the job. That is literally the job. Now, if you don't want to do that because you don't want to be on camera, you don't want to feel salesy, you don't want to whatever it is, all of that stuff, if the answer is no, all of that simply boils down to is one thing. It starts with a C. What is it? Starts with a C. What is it? Put that in the comment down below. It all boils down to one simple thing. And this is where we like to keep it, rule out all the fluff, rule out all the noise. We like to keep it really simple here, right? If you're having issues with this, if you're having fears, if you're having concerns, if you're having whatever it is, it all boils down to one thing. One thing. Yes, correct. Confidence. Your confidence, your belief, another word for confidence, your belief in your own abilities. That's it. Your confidence and belief in yourself. Now, here's the best part. To keep it even more simple, here's the best part. If you have confidence, opportunities, you can fix it. You can work on it. You can increase, you guys have heard me say this before lately, right? You guys can increase your levels of confidence. You can increase your abilities. You can increase your skill sets. You can increase the results that you get. All of those things you can increase if you want to. Okay? Cheers to that. So when you guys think about like, there's a big difference between what's on the surface, right? Superficial, right? On the surface. There's a big difference between what's on the surface and what is actually needed, right? There's a big difference. What's up here, the perception, what everybody sees, what everybody feels, and then when you drill down, you realize how simple it is to achieve what it is you're trying to achieve. But sometimes you got to drill through, you got to sift past, you got to peel back those layers of the onion to realize what it is. All we're simply doing is inviting people to learn more. And that's how simple it really is. You're simply inviting people to learn more. And it's very simple. It's very easy to do. Anybody could do it. You just have to want to do it. You just have to want to make more money, right? That's it. Do you want to make more money? Yes or no? Do you want to create passive residual income? Yes or no? That's ultimately why we're here. That is the long-term end goal. Long-term end goal. And most importantly, guys, out of all the stuff that we're talking about here is you have to give yourself some grace. You have to give yourself the time that it deserves to learn these skill sets, to create these skill sets. You have to give yourself patience. You have to have patience and give yourself the time that it deserves to go build this. Because myself and so many other people here can assure you it's worth it. It is 1000% worth it to learn the skill sets, to get good at inviting, to get good at plugging people in, to get good at this process. It's worth it. It is so worth it. And then, and I was having this discussion this morning with somebody else, this process that we go through is literally an addiction. It becomes an addiction in a very healthy sort of way. It becomes an addiction. You get addicted to the process. And when you get addicted to the process of inviting people, of learning new skill sets, applying those skill sets, when you get addicted to that, I can promise you there is absolutely no stopping you. No stopping you at all, okay? So I kind of wanted to share that concept with you guys today. So again, David, the marketing formula, and this is just like once you understand the formulas, that's all it is. That's all marketing is. Marketing is literally just formulas, right? Ours is hook, build up, present value, call to action, right? Hook, build up, present value, call to action, 4-point formula. It's right in our training. It's in the start. What the heck's it called? It's in the what the process looks like training. Let me log in here real quick. Just want to make sure I'm in the right section. Where are we at? Yeah, it's in the start promoting section specifically. How to get good at the process is where the 4-point formula is. How to get that specific video, how to get good at the process. Okay. But straight up, guys, like make them what it boils down to is making money online is literally just applying formulas. That's it. Applying formulas, getting people to see information, a sale transacts, you make money. That's as simple as it is. And when you can get other people to duplicate that same thing, you can make a whole lot of money. Okay? You can make a whole lot of money. So another thing that I want you guys to think about is this is also where like a lot of people get overwhelmed and confused. Okay? What I want you to do right now is I want you to comment down below, how did you get here? How did you get to the funnel team? How did you get to my econ? What specific thing did you see that led you here? Somehow you got here, right? Somehow you got to this live webinar, maybe you're watching the replay, whatever it is. Something got you here. Is it a short form video? Was it a YouTube video? Was it an email? Was it somebody messaged you? What specific thing got you interested in what we're doing? And this is where like a lot of people, you know, when they get started, they start getting info overwhelm. Like info overwhelm is a real thing. And I want to try to simplify this for you so we can keep this really basic. Okay. You can keep this really, really basic. Okay. So TikTok, short form video, right? Short form video. Most of you guys are commenting short form video, right? Short form video, right? Short form video and YouTube, okay? TikTok, right? TikTok, yep. Short form video, right? Okay. Recommendation, yep, that was probably a Facebook post, right? Short form video. So the majority of you guys are saying short form video. Now, if you drilled that down, and we're not going to go so far down, but if you drilled that down and you went back to that original video that you watched that said, hey, this is something I want to learn more about, right? Somebody invited, someone shared, someone basically invited you by creating the short form video. I hope you guys understand where this is all going now. Someone, invited you with a short form video that you watched and wanted to learn more information. What I want you to do is I want you to go back to that moment. I want you to go back to maybe, and you might not remember that moment because it might be 30 days ago, 60 days ago, 6 months ago, 12 months ago, whatever it is. I want you to go back to that feeling that you had, right? Go back to that feeling that you had, that when you saw that, you said, man, I'm interested in that. I would like to learn more. And I want you to think about that feeling. I want you to think about that moment, the thing that it was that got you here. You can take that moment, you can take that feeling, you can take that thing that you went through, that process that you went through, short form video, maybe it was a YouTube video, maybe it was a text message, whatever it was. You can take that feeling, that thing. Ready for this? I'm going to give you a magic word. You can take that feeling and process and thing and duplicate it. You can take that process and feeling and literally duplicate it. Because if you think back, because chances are, I can think back to when I can think exactly back to when I got into my econ. I can think back to the conversation that I had with Bill. I can think about and feel the lines that he said. I can think about the video that I watched and said, wow. I could think about and feel all that stuff, and then I could turn around and duplicate what I went through. I can duplicate that process. I can kind of recreate that process. So, Albert just said something cool, and I don't know if this is what you meant, Bert, by saying this, but quit my job. So I don't know if that was a phrase or a line or something that you heard that got your attention. So if you have something, and think about this, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Go back to that feeling, go back to that moment, go back to that process, that point in time where you might have heard a line, a word, a phrase, a hook, which is probably what it was, right? It was part of, I guarantee you, someone took you through the 4-point formula. They got your attention with a hook. They built that hook up, got you even more interested. They offered up some type of value that you could, wait for it, learn more by doing whatever the call to action was in their video. I hope this stuff is making sense for you guys. So I want you to go back and kind of rethink through that process, rethink through that feeling that you had. And even if you're watching this right now, maybe even write some notes down, maybe even write some feelings down of what you went through that got you excited, that got you intrigued, that piqued your attention. So you wanted to learn more, and then you went to whatever the call to action was and you took action. If the call to action was go to my link or send me a text message or send me a direct message or drop a comment on this post, whatever it was, go through that process in your mind right now, today, while we're here, while this is all fresh in your mind. Go through that process and start the process of duplicating that feeling, that vibe, that hook, that phrase that you went through. Because you ready for this? If it worked for you, it can work for somebody else too. And everything that we do here, guys, everything that you need in your tool belt, in your little arsenal, you have the answers, the keys. You literally have the answers to the test right at your fingertips. So stop overcomplicating, overthinking about all this stuff. Like, I'll give you guys an example. I mean, picture perfect example. Some of you guys watched a TikTok video, and a lot of you guys commented TikTok or Facebook Reel, right? Those are the two things I saw a lot. A lot of you guys said, hey, I watched a TikTok video and then I went down the rabbit hole, right? You saw a TikTok video, you wanted to learn more, and then boom, that got you here. And it all started with a TikTok video. And then some of you, and this is where you break the chain, you break the cycle, you break the process of what you just went through. And then some of you guys get here and you get started and you're like, oh, well, man, I'm going to go do Craigslist ads and I'm going to go drive paid advertising and I'm going to go do this random shit to try to get some sales. I'm going to go do all this random stuff. I'm going to throw a bunch of mud against the wall and see if it sticks. But that's not how you got here. So think about this. Ask yourself this. If the same method that got you here, why would you get here and then want to do the complete opposite of that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you literally turn around and just try to go? It's kind of like you guys hear the phrase reinventing the wheel. Why would you want to go reinvent the wheel when the wheel is already there? We'll use the TikTok example. If you spent time on TikTok and you were scrolling through TikTok and you found a piece of information that got your attention, got you excited, got you to want to learn more, you learned more and you got started, and it all started with TikTok. Why would you turn around and then go do Craigslist? Why would you go turn around and then say, I'm going to go drive a bunch of solo ads. I'm going to go do all this stuff that I didn't go through, but who knows? I'm just going to wing it and see what happens, right? Why would you do that? When that's not what got you hooked. You know what got you excited. You saw, you learned, you understand what got you here. Go duplicate that process. For me, it's YouTube, right? It's YouTube. I have people that I watch YouTube videos, right? I have people that watch my YouTube videos and then get here, right? And then sometimes they're like, oh, well, I'm going to go off and I'm going to go do this random thing. Or some people are like, hey, well, what if I went and I did LinkedIn? What if I went and did Pinterest? Did Pinterest get you here? Did LinkedIn get you here? No? So why would you want to invest time, effort, possibly money and energy trying to learn something that didn't get you here? Does this stuff make sense, guys? Does this make sense? And this is where we want to keep it simple. Now, I'm going to speak out of both sides of my mouth right now, okay? Can you go learn other skill sets? Can you go learn other ways to get people here? Yes, of course you can. But don't forget, don't leave out, don't ignore what got you here. It's the most obvious answer to the test that you're taking. The most obvious answer, right, is the one that got you here, right? It's the simplest explanation. What got you excited? What got you piqued? Like, what made you want to learn more? Somebody invited you with a short form video. Someone invited you to learn more information. They hooked you in. You went down the hole, got the information, and then got here. So go duplicate that process. Go duplicate that feeling, that emotion. You have the formula to do it. You know and understand it. And that's why we're talking about this right now. Make some notes. And I'll leave you guys with this today, okay? This is very basic, very simple. Be a student. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking about this stuff. To give you these skill sets to make money for a lifetime. Be a student. Please comment that down below right now. Please. Be a student. Okay? If you want to be wealthy and successful, study wealth. Study success. Can that get any more basic? If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. It's the same thing with being healthy, being fit, being, at your ideal body weight, being in shape, being healthy. If you want to be healthy, study health. Oh, there's a concept, right? If you want to be happy, you guys heard me talk about this last time, right? I got out all the books. If you want to be happy, study happiness. Study what happy people do. Study what wealthy people do. Study what successful marketers do. Just go back and remember what got you excited, who was successful enough to pique your interest to get you here. Go study that process, learn that process, which you guys have, you guys know. Go be a student, guys. Be a student of the process. Please be a student of the process. It's all simple stuff. Just got to go do it. Hope this stuff makes sense, guys. You have the keys. You have the answers to the test right in front of you. It's just a matter of you going to do it. That's it. Deuces. I'm out. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, Tuesday. See you then. Later.